My 2021 prediction is still the same as it was on the last day of last year, and that's 220,000 for Bitcoin in 2021. So I'm still holding to that prediction. And after, I'm using this 4-year halving cycle where you see these types of moves, and it's kind of fitting into that scenario right now. And following 2022, let's say getting into the 2023, 2024 period, at the moment, my feeling is that it might not be a great year, actually. We might see more of one of our historic pullback years that I've been through 90% corrections in Bitcoin going back to 2011. We haven't seen, those are very, very damaging. For 2021, though, I'm still very, very wildly bullish for 2021. I think we're now starting to see this crossover from the 200-day moving average. You're starting to see the Washington, D.C. experience has shown people that, Washington's actually powerless against this thing. Everyone is hoping, we're going to ban Bitcoin. And they all went there and they had their meetings and they had their votes and they had their sessions. And then Bitcoin, tick-tock, next block. It doesn't stop. And I think people are scratching their head like, wait a minute, you mean the U.S. government really can't stop this thing? I'm going to buy more. So we're seeing the U.S. kind of fail in its attempt to stop it. And that's bullish. And so that's going to offer a lot of price support. The Michael Saylors of the world, he is he's orange pilling trillions of dollars worth of cash on the sidelines. Michael Saylor is is got the best pitch. I'll say that. He's got the best pitch of anybody, which is great because he's got a lot of money and a lot of Bitcoin. So we've got like Ted Williams in the batter's box right now, or Gordie Howe or Wayne Gretzky or whoever you want to use. I'll use a Joe sports analogy because I know he's into sports. But, we've got the Babe Ruth of, pitching, Bitcoin pitchers, there and doing his job. And that means a lot of companies all over the world, the dominoes will fall, just like countries will fall. I think all we need is one other country to announce Bitcoin legal tender in a big way, or one major company with multi-trillion dollars on the assets balance sheet that they're going to go Bitcoin. All we need is one more in 2021, and you're going to see a 40 to 50,000 point dollar gap, in a week.
So 2030, what's the price prediction? Basically a decade from now.
Yeah, again, you get into a different kind of thinking when you look over that period, Pomp, because we're talking about a world where fiat money, as we know it, is no more, and that's a very, very different world. It's a world where you have consensus that's built into the Bitcoin protocol applied to society at large and countries in the world. That's where we're headed. So it means just a completely different world beyond the price. I think we're getting to a point, by 2030, I think the last thing people will ever talk about when they talk about Bitcoin is the price, because they'll just be living inside the protocol, so to speak. That protocol, the genius of the incentive model, the protocol, will bring in our society. We all have this kind of, not to get too metaphysical here, but we all live kind of with this common unconscious or combined, the collective unconscious. That's a completely unexplored area. We, as a human species, we're all one, but we act as if we're different and we're always in contention. Okay, put the perfect consensus protocol into the societal mix of humans and see what happens. And I think we're going to see war and violence completely weeded out of the situation. We're heading to a very loving and peaceful future. That's where we're headed, and within 10 years potentially. So all the prophets from all the ages, going back 1,000 years, who spoke about potential in these terms, they weren't wrong. But they never had Bitcoin.